This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English, episode number 302, baby. Oh yeah. In today's episode we have one of those crazy American speakers. The wonderful substitute Sabrina. And we talk about things you are scared of, how brave you are, and to be honest, just a bit of a conversation about nothing, really, which is what Rock and Roll English is, isn't it? In other news, my online course, Jungle Listening, which will help you understand every word native British speakers say, is near completion now. This is the biggest project I have ever worked on, and I have put absolutely everything into this to make it perfect. But still a few more weeks to go. I'm just telling you, it's nearly there, and it will be extremely useful to anyone living in the UK or anyone who wants to watch TV without subtitles, let's say. Don't forget as well, if you are not in the Rock and Roll English family membership area, join us to have access to more than 1,000, yes, more than 1,000 exclusive true Rock and Roll English episodes with transcripts. They are more personal podcasts, not safe for the public. And you also become part of the community where you talk to people like me on a daily basis, but more importantly, people from around the world. So if you are interested in this, lots of other things as well, click on the description to this podcast you are listening to right now. There is a link there. But that's enough of that. Here is the episode, some absolutely cracking stories. Cracking meaning fantastic. And again, that is what Rock and Roll English is all about, isn't it? So I will talk to you at the end. Happy listening. Substitute Sabrina, how are you today?
I'm doing good. And you?
I am fantastic. As always, Substitute Sabrina. Even more fantastic now I'm talking to you. It's been a few months, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. I don't remember when was the last time, but it's always a pleasure to speak to you.
Always for me too, to speak to you. I remember actually quite clearly because it was just after the new baby R&R was born. And that was the moment where I kind of thought, this is crisis in my life. That was that was where I kind of thought, my God, I don't know if I'm going to survive. But I'm still here 3 months later.
Exactly. You've made it.
Yeah, so let's hope for another 3 months. Small steps, small steps.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Absolutely, yes. So, it's been a while, but how do we usually start the podcast?
You start with the wonderful and spectacular reviews.
Yes. Do you think we have a review?
Of course.
See, you're always so positive, which I like, but unfortunately, no. You mentioned the wonderful and spectacular reviews, which we don't have. Okay, so this is a plea now to the listeners. Okay, enough's enough. We need some reviews to read on this show.
We need reviews, guys. Come on.
Exactly. So pull your finger out, go onto iTunes or Facebook and leave a review. So in today's pod, recently I did something actually, for me, quite scary. It was my brother's 40th birthday and I had to buy him something, and I ended up buying him something which was, one of those experience days where you go and do something.
Oh, that's nice. Of course. Those are fun.
Well, it depends what you do though, doesn't it? Because because as it was a present, obviously I had to do it with him, but it was something I knew he would like, but I wouldn't like. And it was actually to climb a football stadium. So we were on top of the stadium, and there's one bit where you're looking down on the edge and there's not really much to stop you falling. And I was absolutely shitting my pants. To be honest, when I bought him the present, it was like one of those things, you have 1 year to do it.
Right. The expiration date.
Yeah, and I was hoping that he would just forget and we wouldn't need to do it. But he didn't, and then we actually did it.
And you actually pay to climb up the stairs of a stadium?
Yes, this is the thing which I don't understand, that I ended up paying quite a lot of money to do something which I didn't want to do. And when I was up the top and looking down, thinking, I'm going to have a heart attack now because I was so scared. But the whole experience made me think, how brave I am. Okay. And I think the answer is not very, but I thought we could do a test. Okay.
Okay.
We could do a test today and see how brave we are. Okay.
But before we start the test, did you feel like Rocky when you were running up the stairs?
Absolutely
No?
not. I
Okay.
I was crying the whole way up.
Okay.
It was nothing like Rocky.
You're brave. Yeah, you are.
I was crying the whole way up, holding the sides, saying, "Please, I don't want to do this."
I can just imagine. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Whilst my brother was like, "Oh, brilliant!" So one of the first things, actually. So when you go to like a theme park, do you go on the rides, like the big scary ones? Is that for you?
Actually, no, because I have a very brief story. No, I don't like roller coasters. I don't like those crazy rides. I was one time in Disney World, and there's Space Mountain, and I literally told him, I started screaming. I'm like, I'm gonna pee. I'm peeing my pants because I was not shitting, but I was peeing because I was extremely frightened. Yes.
Right. Not that you just really needed to go, because I was thinking, did you go to the toilet before? Like the first thing?
No. But the pee didn't come out like all, just a little.
Oh, it
pee.
did come out. You actually.
A little tiny bit because I was scared to death.
Do they have things at Disneyland for like where you can change underwear for people that shit or piss themselves?
Not for the
emergency underwear.
Right. No, for the babies. But they do put all the warnings there. If you suffer from heart problems, if you this, if you that, don't get on the ride.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, so that was the same as me. Again, when I was a child, my brother loved all of these things, and we would go on like a family day out to a place like this. And at the end of the day, I would just feel very inadequate because I would spend most of the day holding my brother's jacket whilst he was going on, and you just feel very inadequate because I was too scared.
Have you seen the pictures after? In some places, they take the pictures while you're on the ride, and the faces are just, crazy.
They also took some pictures at this thing that we went to, and yeah, you could see I was very much shitting myself. But now I thought, right, because they make you pay like, I don't know, £15 or €20 or whatever for this picture. So I thought, when afterwards they had the picture, I'll take a picture
of the picture.
Of the picture. How about that, hey?
But I'm sure they didn't let you take a picture of the picture.
But I'm a bad boy. Substitute Sabrina, you know that it's illegal, but like fuck the police kind of thing. Like,
exactly, fuck the pigs.
Yeah, exactly. The police are still looking for me because I took a picture of the picture, but I did it. So yeah, fuck them. So okay, next one. Okay, how close would you get to a spider? You've got a spider in your house. What do you do?
Actually, I don't like spiders, but I can handle it. I'll kill it. Mr. Substitute says don't kill it because they eat the mosquitoes and everything else. I'm like, I don't want a spider in my house. I kill it.
You kill it, right? Okay. Yeah. One thing though, this actually reminded me of something. When I was in Rome and we went for a picnic one day, not just me and Substitute Sabrina, but there were other people there, a group picnic.
Ah, that's right. I remember.
And I remember there were some ants climbing around, and you absolutely shit yourself.
Yes, I am. What's the right word? Insect phobia? Is there like a? Yeah, I don't like insects.
Right. Okay. But spiders are okay then. You don't like ants, but you like spiders.
I don't like them, but I'll kill it. I'm not afraid. But if I see a roach, forget about it. I'll be flying away from it as it comes towards
roach,
me.
You mean a cockroach? Yeah.
Cockroach, yeah.
So
roach,
you just call it roach because like you're really friendly with them. Is that right?
Oh yeah, we're pals. No, roaches are not my cup of tea. Especially when I was living in Florida, they're called palmetto bugs because they're huge. And no, those
oh
no.
god, those things. Yeah, I remember once I came in, this is when I was living in Sicily. I got into my bed and I could just hear this rustling. So rustling's a lovely word, just like something under my bed, because there were some plastic bags under my bed, and then I could just hear the rustling.
No.
And I thought, no, it's nothing. Go back to sleep. And there was rustle again. So I moved the bed and I just saw it run up the wall, and I thought, oh fuck.
I actually talking about a roach.
Yeah, a huge one. And I actually thought, this was about 3:00 in the morning. I thought, I don't have much stuff here. This was, before Mrs. R&R. I only really had like a suitcase of things. I actually thought, I think I'll just put all of my stuff in a suitcase and leave this apartment forever at 3:00 in the morning. Yeah, that's it. I'm never coming back. But I actually went for the glass technique because I was too scared to kill it. I thought if something comes on me, so I went for the glass technique and then threw it out of the window. But then I thought, but what if it comes back? So very, very soon after I left that apartment, I left it.
But yeah, I mean, hot climates, or not even, because New York is infested with roaches too. So, no offense to New York, but roaches are everywhere.
Yes, exactly. Not so nice. And this, I suppose, is kind of connected. So would you eat something strange, unusual, such as snails, for example? Would you eat a snail?
Actually, yes.
Yeah?
I've had them, yeah.
So in some places, they actually eat cockroaches, don't they?
No, I can't do it. I just can't. No. Snails, I've had them. I mean, if you remember living in Palermo, there's babalucci, which are the tiny ones.
Yeah.
Or the escargot, which are the big ones. But yeah, I've had them.
So the ones you mentioned in Palermo, when it's the patron saint of the city,
exactly.
Everyone eats them, and I didn't want to be the boring one saying, I don't really like that, and they're saying, go on, have some, they're really nice. But luckily they were really small, so I just kind of put them in my mouth and swallowed them like a tablet, like a pill.
I hope you didn't put the whole thing with the shell. You're supposed to suck it out.
But the whole experience is a bit of a blur, to be honest, because I was so scared when they put that thing in my hand.
Okay.
I remember just thinking, don't chew, just let it go down your throat straight. And then they said, is it nice? Oh yeah, lovely. Absolutely love
a nice cold beer after.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. So what about afraid of the dark? Substitute Sabrina, are you afraid of the dark?
In a general sense, no. But if I'm alone, for example, when Mr. Substitute goes on tour for something, for acting, and I'm alone, I keep the light on at the entrance of the house, like the hallway.
Just in case there's an emergency and you need to find the exit, where the exit is.
Just in case somebody comes in, I can see them.
But if you're in the bedroom, how can you see the entrance? Or do you think they're going to knock and say, hello, I just want to steal you and maybe kill you, and they knock politely?
Because at least I know the light is on, and I don't know, it's just a comfort area to have a light on.
Yeah, sure. If you're going to get murdered by a stranger in the middle of the night, have the light on.
I want to see it.
Yeah. I absolutely hated sleeping with lights on, but now, obviously, with young children, I've spent so long now sleeping in rooms with this annoying baby music and lights. I actually now, even if I'm alone, I sometimes put on baby music and switch a little light on.
Lullaby.
Yeah. Otherwise, honestly, I actually can't sleep. It's an absolute nightmare.
Things you do when you have a family, you change.
Absolutely. So this one's quite scary, I suppose. But okay, what would you do? You in the middle of the night, you hear someone shouting, "Help! Help!" What would you do? You don't know where that's coming. It may be coming outside. You just hear the shout. What do you do? Do you think I'll go back to sleep, or do you you've got the light on anyway, so you know where to go? Do you go downstairs? What do you do? Now
remember, I have the light on if I'm alone. But anyway, if I hear somebody shouting help, obviously I'll try to find out where it's coming from. Yeah. Because if I was in that person's position, I would want somebody to help me. So yeah.
See, the reason I'm asking this is because, again, when I was in Palermo, I hadn't really been there that long, and the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard this shouting, and then I heard someone shouting like "aiuto, aiuto," which in Italian is help. And I remember just thinking, first of all, my first thought was, oh my God, I actually understood what she said there. Like that was my. And then once I got to that, once I was happy that I had understood the Italian, I then
By that
thought,
time she was killed and murdered.
well,
Okay.
I don't know. Then I actually thought, oh shit, she's actually asking for help. And then I thought, I don't even know where that's coming from, what building. And I thought, like, if I call an ambulance now, they'll say, okay, yeah, what's the problem? And I'll say, someone's shouting help. Where? Somewhere in Palermo. Like,
Well, you would say in your neighborhood,
in my neighborhood. So there was probably about 2,000 people that lived within 100 meters of me.
Yes, that's true. The city center, yes. But what, I mean, at least you would react. If somebody's saying help, that means they need help.
Yeah, I kind of just went back to sleep.
Oh my God.
But saying that, I panicked, didn't really know what to do. And then I heard some other people. There was lots of commotion. So commotion, lots of other noise. And I thought, right, someone's dealing with this. This happened to me. This happened to me a couple of times. Once I was waiting for a bus, just, as you do. And then an old man next to me just collapsed. I think had a heart attack.
Oh, shit.
And I called an ambulance that time. But this was in the daytime and there were lots of people there. And then my bus came and I kind of thought, well, do I need to stay around here? Like the ambulance is coming.
Left?
Yeah, but I didn't leave him alone on the floor. There were lots
Say, bye, gotta go.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about this. But yeah, there were lots of people there. The ambulance was coming. And I thought, what am I going to do? I was like 16 years old as well. There was also a doctor there. I'm pretty sure the doctor's going to be more useful than some idiot 16-year-old.
You did your civil duty and you called an ambulance and that was fine.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And another time in Rome, I called an ambulance. I was walking home and then, it's always scary walking home at night alone, isn't it, sometimes? And then I could just see in the distance, I thought, what's that? Is that like some rubbish on the floor? And then I realised...
I remember that story.
Yeah, and then it was a man lying on the floor and he had like blood on him and I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Via La Spezia or something like that.
Yep. Yeah. And I thought, what the hell am I going to do? And I didn't even know the number to call an ambulance. I think I called you, I can't remember, and said, what's the number for an ambulance? And then called, and again, I was so pleased that I managed to speak in Italian to the ambulance. And
what'd you say? There's a man here laying down with blood all over him?
Yeah, but then I knew where I was, though. And then, again, the ambulance came, and then I said, right, see you later. There's no, what am I going to do now? Yeah, exactly. So I am a good citizen in the end. Okay.
Good.
It's not that bad. Okay. So do you always stand up for like your people that are close to you? So stand up for them, defend them.
Of course. Why wouldn't I? Why, you wouldn't? Well, okay, wait, let me backtrack. Of course I would. Obviously, if they didn't do something illegal or kill somebody.
Like take a photo of a photo at Disney.
Exactly. Take a photo of a photo, yeah.
Yeah. See, I think it depends because, again, the thing that comes to my mind is I was in a foreign country with some of my friends, actually Boom Boom from the podcast, and an argument kind of started about a chair in this pub that we're in, whose chair this was.
Right.
And Boom Boom was very, this is my chair, I'm not moving. And there was a very angry man. And I just said to Boom Boom, look, he's a lot bigger than us. So if this kicks off, if he gets angry, I'm not going to stand up for you.
You're going to run out of that pub.
I was like, you are on your own, my friend. Okay. So I would say
it's not really being a friend.
Okay. Yeah. But it's being a sensible friend, okay? So sensible, mature, because I thought we could end up in hospital over a chair in a pub.
Right.
Or we can just give this man his chair, even if it's not his. What one do you prefer?
So you left your friend hanging,
yes,
basically.
I left him there. But luckily, I can't remember. I think he did see sense and think, is a chair worth going to hospital for? And so in the end, but yeah, the moral, don't stand up for your friends. Tell them the truth and say, look, this is not a good idea. We might die. Okay.
Give them some good advice. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, what about this one? Some crazy things like skydiving, bungee jumping. Would you try any of that?
There was a time that I had on my bucket list that I wanted to do skydiving. As I matured in life, I've changed. So no, I wouldn't do skydiving nor bungee jumping.
Yeah, I just think God didn't make us to jump out of planes, and God made us like to walk on the ground. So why on earth would people do that?
I mean, it looks cool. It looks cool. I mean, yeah, but no.
So if I don't know, someone put a gun to my head and said, look, you have to do this, so then I would do it. The only enjoyable part when you said it looks cool would be the end, where I would then say to myself, oh, thank God I didn't die. And that's what happens with things like this. Again, when I did that experience day with my brother, I got to the bottom and it was like, oh, thank God I didn't die. And that's it. That's the only enjoyable part. That's the only enjoyable moment of the whole thing.
That you survived.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I think we've come to the end of our test. So I would say, I think you are slightly braver than me, but so you win the competition. But at the same time, don't be too pleased, because most people are braver than me.
Oh, okay. But I won. Okay.
But you won, exactly. So
Cool.
Well done. So anyway, thanks a lot as always for your time, Substitute Sabrina.
My pleasure.
Take care. Be careful of people coming in to murder you in the middle of the night. Okay.
I'll make sure not to let them in, or take a picture.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
All right. Take care.
Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that was me talking to Substitute Sabrina about how brave we are. First thing to say, reviews. Please leave some reviews. It really helps me. If you have no intention of ever joining the Rock and Roll English family, doing my online course, anything like that, that's absolutely fine. But please show your support and leave me a review. It really helps me to grow. This is the only way I support my family, so please take the time to leave me a review. It will really, really help. So anyway, looking at some of the vocabulary at the beginning, Substitute Sabrina said, you've made it. Like, you've made the 3 months, let's say, which means like, yes, you have achieved your goal. You have been successful. My goal of living 3 months. I mentioned a plea to the listeners. So when I say this is a plea, it's like I'm begging you, I'm on my knees. Please leave a review. And I also said, pull your finger out. A lovely term to say, do something. Pull your finger out and leave a review. Substitute Sabrina said she was scared to death when she was on Space Mountain. A lovely term to say very scared. I mentioned the rustling I heard under my bed when there was that cockroach. And the best way to describe this is not a description, just the actual noise, which is this. Think of a cockroach walking on a plastic bag. What would you hear? It would be this. That is rustling. I mentioned there was lots of commotion when I heard someone shouting help. So commotion, lots of shouting and noise, let's say. Substitute Sabrina said at one point, let me backtrack. So let me go back and correct what I just said. I then mentioned when I said to Boom Boom about the argument in the pub, if something kicks off, people start getting angry and throwing things, and yeah, not a good situation if things kick off. And I said that I was being a sensible friend. Now, I know this word sensible causes problems in, I think, Latin languages, because there's the confusion between sensible and sensitive. So sensible is a mature person, A classic example is a child, a 10-year-old child. A sensible child is one that says, oh, I don't eat chocolate because it's bad for me. That's a sensible thing. Sensitive, on the other hand, is if I say, I don't like your jumper, I don't like your t-shirt, and you start crying, you are very sensitive. Substitute Sabrina said that she had skydiving on her bucket list, which is a list of things you want to do before you die. And a nice piece of grammar I used was when I said, is a chair worth going to hospital for? So notice this worth plus ing, worth going to hospital for. Anyway, all of this vocabulary is on the website, so you can go to rockandrollenglish.com, click podcast episodes, find the latest one. You will see all of this. This episode should also be on YouTube as well. Don't forget to go to that and subscribe to my YouTube channel, even though I don't really know how to make videos. And I will see you all very soon, people. But in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.